Everyone by now has heard of ChatGPT. It's the new AI chatbot and it's smart. But the real question is, can it replace me and code a Minecraft datapack? It's been tested before on mods, but datapacks are even more niche and weird. Let's find out. So, let's just ask it to write me a datapack that adds a simple gun into Minecraft. Let's see what it comes up with. Set up the datapack structure. Yeah, I know how to do this. Find the gun item. The loot table. That's not a great start. So it drops a gun if it's a piglin. That doesn't make any sense. And second of all, you can't create custom items with datapacks. That's a modded thing. You can't create namespace gun item. Yeah, that's correct. Item gun. Create the gun function. Okay, this is kind of what we want. So tag as add can shoot gun. Summon a snowball. So it's setting the motion into the Z direction. Shoot gun.mc function. Alright, so I'm gonna just quickly put this into a datapack. Yeah, see what we get. Okay, so I've set up the datapack as it said. You can see there's a couple of errors, but if I didn't have all these extensions running, I wouldn't know that. So let's just do exactly what it said. I've installed it, so let's /reload. Killing piglin mobs, so spawn a piglin, and I obviously know this isn't gonna work. But just to show you, there you go. Well, first of all, the loot table didn't load because Minecraft : item is not a valid loot table. It's kind of done this wrong. It's kind of said, oh, drop this item if the entity is a piglin, but what you actually need to do is you actually need to name the loot table piglin.json, and the type would be mob, and then this bit is kind of correct, but obviously, as I said, there's no way to add this guns : gun. You need to kind of retexture a vanilla item and use that. So I'm just going to tell it, when I kill a piglin, it's not dropping the gun. Yeah, that's correct. Minecraft loot tables entities piglin.json. Okay, this is getting better. So loot tables entities piglin.json and paste this in. This is correct if we just do that. But it's still kind of assuming that guns : gun is a valid item, so it's still not going to work. But it has actually successfully overridden the piglin loot table, so yeah, well, it's still not going to drop that. Okay, so let's just imagine that I kind of figured out that you're not allowed to add custom items like namespace : gun. I'll kind of point it in the right direction. Yeah, that's correct. Work around this using custom crafting recipe to obtain the gun item in-game. Crafting shaped. No, it's still giving me... So, the piglin loot table's not the problem, it's that it's still assuming that you can use namespace : gun. It still doesn't know that you can't use, well, anyway, custom namespace and a custom item, so I'm just going to tell it about carrot on stick and see what it says. Okay, so I actually got 2 responses for this, because it kind of errored, but it was almost finished, like it was already saying zip up the datapack. It's figuring out everyone has carrot on stick. Now this is definitely not ideal, because normally in a datapack you want to have, you still want to keep carrots on sticks, and then you'd want to have a custom tag saying that it's a gun. So shoot gun.mc function will run as everyone with a carrot on stick in their hand, and it will run this, and then it runs the reload function. In shoot... Yeah, this is definitely not good, because it's going to execute as everyone, and then as everyone, it's going to execute as everyone again. So, for every person, it will execute as every other person, so it will be exponentially, but again, it's fine in single player. So, if everyone with the can shoot gun tag, and then run the projectile, oh my god, it's just executing as a over and over again. So basically it's gonna be for each person. So if there's 5 people on the server, it will run this 125 times, which is not great. So yeah, let's find something, a snowball. That actually looks fairly good. It's not very good implementation of it. It's extremely unoptimized. Let's do it this way instead, actually. So it's mostly fine. Oh, so one thing I just realized is that we didn't actually add pack.mc meta, so this isn't gonna even load in the first place. I'm just gonna kind of talk to ChatGPT for a little bit and see if I can explain to it what's wrong and see if it can rectify my problems. I mean, I tried to ask it, you know, said about all these different things which are completely correct. Yeah, Datapack's folder, use /say to output, but it didn't once mention pack.mcmeta. Well, I'm just gonna say, let's just say I managed to figure out that pack.mcmeta was required because if you watch any tutorial on how to set up a simple data pack, it will tell you about pack.mcmeta. So I'm gonna copy this error message here and give it to ChatGPT, see if it can figure out what this does. Yay, it did it. Actually, not really. Basically, it's kind of solved in two different ways. What you can do is just take this bit kind of and do data modify entity, all snowballs with a limit of 1. Or what you can do is you can have execute as all snowballs and just modify themselves, because this command can only modify one entity at a time. But if you have them all separately modifying themselves, then that's fine. But it's kind of done both, so it will just do one. So that is all of the errors, actually. So we kind of got there. And now if we get ourselves a carrot on a stick and we right click, it doesn't do anything, because to do this it needs to run the gun function, which is not being run. So let's use a say command and say gun function, just to show that this is never being run when I right click. So I'll tell it, double check the gun function is correctly referenced. Well, it isn't, because nothing's actually calling it. Check execution trigger. So this is kind of what you want. You want it to trigger when you interact with a certain item. But one thing we can do, test with a direct command, /function namespace : gun. So /function guns : gun. It does indeed summon a snowball. It's doing it. That is so weird, but it does appear to be shooting a snowball over there. So that's good. Let's see if we can just get it to run the function when I right click. Alright, so it's decided to go with an advancement rather than a scoreboard, which is fine. It's done, as far as I can tell, pretty correctly. The rewards is the function namespace : gun. That's completely correct. That will run the function when you get the advancement. But the problem is it's set the trigger to be Minecraft impossible, which means, well, it's impossible to get the advancement. What you need is one of the special right click ones. I think it's like used item or interacted with item or something. We kind of managed to make a gun. ChatGPT is just not very good at data packs, probably because, well, the internet is full of references to more common programming languages. But Datapack's quite a lot smaller, so it probably doesn't know that much about it. But it kind of managed to create a simple gun. Anyway, the answer is no. ChatGPT cannot become a Datapack creator because it just doesn't know enough about Datapacks.